Welcome to the sit down of all things relevant, everybody. Sal here, my host, co-host, Ruben the
Hi.
Lion.
Hi.
I feel like he's doing it like it's almost like the first time. Hey guys, how do we do
How you
this
doing?
Introduction? Oh, beautiful Sunday morning.
First time. How you doing, Sal? What's your name, Sal?
My name is Sal.
Never met you before.
It's funny because a lot of people
Do I do the show with you?
You do this show with me, but let me brief you real quick.
Okay.
A lot of people, when they hear my name, which is, it's actually Salvador, right? That's Spanish.
Yeah.
In English, it's not Salvador. It's actually Savior. And so
it's Salvador.
it's confusing to people because they're like, oh, he's a savior. And I'm like, no, I'm here to condemn you 100%. I'm not here to save anybody. If I can't save myself, there's no way I'm saving you.
Of course you can.
So,
A mystery person who I've never met before.
you think I can save myself?
Maybe. Let's ask Alec. Alec, can he save himself?
No.
No,
Okay,
there's
no, there it
there's
is.
no way in hell.
No, none.
I think Alec's more capable of saving me. He's got the appearance.
He does.
Yeah, white guy, beard, long hair.
You mean like I can save you because like you like how I look?
Well, because you look like Jesus a little bit.
Oh.
If I were to have to imagine,
Well, not the
and I know
Jesus.
that's gonna be, there's so much controversy to that one too. Like I can't think of how Jesus looked because then it's like, but how do you know that's how Jesus looked? And they're like, well, this is where Jesus was born, so he probably looked like this. And I'm
Where's the selfies?
but then at the end of the day, I'm like, does it really fucking matter what Jesus looked like? Like,
Hey, man, Jesus was Jesus, bro.
I mean,
He was turning water into wine, man. He was thirsty. He said, I don't need that water. You need wine.
see,
He was a big party animal.
Jesus was thirsty, confirmed.
There you go.
he had to have been thirsty, confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't know how many barrels of wine he made, but I mean, he was ready to party.
I mean, he could have made a killing if he sold it.
Imagine if Jesus had been like P. Diddy,
No, you see, now you're going too
be
far
like
now.
barrels of oil.
No, Sal, you're getting off the rails here. Don't compare Jesus to that man.
I'm not comparing him. I'm saying what if he would have been like Diddy? Like that's probably what he would have. You'd have to think something was up with this guy if it was put in the scriptures, and then he turned water into baby oil.
No, we're not doing that.
Be like, sheesh.
No, I'll be surprised if you get struck by lightning, Sal.
You know what? I think God's got like an epic death for me, like prepared. That's why I haven't died yet.
You're probably gonna die in the toilet.
Maybe.
Who knows?
From drinking too much alcohol.
No, from obsessive masturbation.
Yes. Probably death from too much masturbation is probably the way I'll go.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It'll all work out.
You'll be okay.
In the end. No, but seriously, I mean, I don't know. I wonder sometimes about these things. And oddly enough, now that we're on the topic of Jesus, right? We have prepared a pretty good sit down, I think.
Okay.
It's just us running through some. It's time, guys.
It's time.
Reaction videos. That's what we're doing. And oddly enough, speaking about, Jesus Christ, let's hear what the women have to say about Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So let's roll this clip here, Alec. If you would do us that favor, and we'll see what some of these ladies think about Jesus.
Let's see what they say. Hopefully something good.
Oh, it is good.
Okay. Run it, Alec.
I'm running it.
Nice.
He's running it nice.
There you go. Hey, I know who she is.
Yeah, let's see what she says.
Christ, but then you can get on stage and sing about him in the most
Let me refresh it. So
Yeah,
it's
I
the
think
Okay, refresh it, Alec. Come on. Let's get it going here.
provocation. People like Dylan can get up on a stage and sing and blaspheme the name of Jesus, and then nothing happens. But if I come out and say this, I am a hater. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't defend my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but then you can get on stage and sing about him in the most provocative way in a dress. Make that make sense to me. So you know what, Dylan? You man up. Be the person God created you to be. He says in his word, we are beautifully and wonderfully made. He did not make a mistake when you were born a male. Doesn't matter what you think you are, God's like, hey, you are a male. I am a real female. Don't get triggered by this, because this is just the truth. The truth in your head doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It's just to make yourself feel better or clout or whatever it may be. You are wrong, and I'm telling you this. I'm coming to you as a sister in Christ, telling you you are wrong. God did not mess up. God did not make a mistake. There are two genders, male and female, nothing in between, nothing outside of that. So Dylan, man up. Be the man of God that he created you to be. Live in his will, not your own. I find it...
You know, I don't know who this Dylan guy is. But
I was questioning that too. I'm like, who is Dylan? Dylan who?
I don't know who he is, but he needs to man up.
Yeah, Dylan, you just received a message right here from the prophet herself.
It's just, I mean, look, I mean, yeah, I agree with her. Just it's funny that she's saying all that. That when she was like the biggest OnlyFans star there was, and did the most craziest shit on there, but she's spitting facts. It's just it's weird coming from her, given that if you know who she is, which she was a big OnlyFans star for the longest time, and then she found Jesus, as they all do, and Dylan needs to get his stuff together, apparently, from what I am understanding from this video.
So I only know a bit about her. I know that I have seen her before and that she is was an OnlyFans creator. I don't know, whatever that it's all about. I don't
OF creator.
OF creator. So, and I did learn a little other things about her, which apparently I actually enjoy watching some of the, her father is apparently a minister or pastor or something of the sort.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like very well known.
That's why she that's why she rebelled and at first and became an OF creator to kind of go against that.
Right.
And then she was like, nah, okay, Christ is pretty cool.
Yeah, she was being a a child of a pastor or whatever that tends to happen at times.
I mean, that's like the ultimate fantasy, though, if you think about it.
I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Hit us with
Do
it.
y'all think that her and her father and the whole dynamic, the whole career path she went through, do y'all think that it was a bit of a publicity stunt?
Could possibly be. A lot of people are creative nowadays. So, I mean, then again, and maybe not, but I like to think that a lot of stuff like that is probably just a stunt to get more views or just to generate more money.
I'd have to question, like, do you happen to know the time span of her being in OnlyFans?
I am not an expert on that, but
Okay.
I would have said probably a few
just
years,
from what
maybe.
I'm hearing about her from y'all, like that really sounds like a publicity stunt.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you see her interactions in like podcasts and stuff like that before now. Like I think the more popular one is one where she had red hair at the time, and she was like, you can't cheat on me
I'ma cheat on
because
you.
you're gonna get tired. She's like, but I'll cheat on you because I'm bored. Something like that. It's like the biggest clip you'll see of her, and it's crazy. Like wow, that's to have that kind of mentality, and then seeing how how she is now. Now I'll say this much: what she's saying is very true. I agree with the things that she's saying.
100%.
That and that comes from the idea like there's people that have this idea that you can't change. Like people, if you're this at this point, you're always going to be that. I am a great believer in people being able to change. I think people can change. I think you have to want to change though in order for you to change. Because if you yourself don't want to change, then you're not going to change. It's not going to happen.
Well, we had a conversation about that. No buddy of ours the other day, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I told you that, he's always saying he's going through a lot, but how y'all's path were somewhat similar, but you wanted to change and you wanted to get better, and he just, this friend of ours is, I told you, he has to want to be helped and want to change, and he always wants to seem like a victim. So,
well, I did reach out to him, you know, on a positive note, and just let him know, hey, you know, we can't just sit back. I mean, we got to take it a day at a time. It's tough. I know. I was like, look, I've been through not even the worst of difficulties, but you know, I try to take it a day at a time. Some days are easy, some days are tough. Sometimes you slip, and you kind of go back into the same role that you were at before. But the important part is, you know, picking yourself up and you know, looking for that help that you want from the people that want you to do better. There's some people that don't care if you do better or whatever. You know, it just depends on if it fits their agenda on whatever it is. But I will say, like I said, I think people can change. You have to want to change. It is difficult hearing these things from her, just on this perspective alone. Like, for example, myself. Like, if there was ever anything crazy that I did where it was just terrible and all this, which I've done a couple of many of things, and then now later you see me as this like calm guy who doesn't, you know, doesn't curse, positive attitude, all about love and this and anything you can think of, right? You'd be like, oh, he changed. That's good. I remember when he was like this, and you kind of leave it at that, right? But with her, it's tough because it's like there are a lot of people who have seen you do the things and everything. Like you've been on podcasts where millions of people watch them, and so then to come out here and be this kind of person, it's tough. Because so many people know.
Well, that's what my reaction was when she started doing stuff like that, videos like that. I was like, I mean, you were literally the most like outrageous OnlyFans star at one point. Like you were doing the most craziest things on camera, and then you all of a sudden decide that you want to find Jesus and spread the word. Just hey, fine, that's cool. But it's like you said, it's hard because then in my head I'm thinking, okay, now it's just a stunt if she really is doing this. You know what I mean? Like how Alec was saying, how maybe it's a publicity stunt, and maybe it's not. I mean, who knows?
And it's possible.
I don't know.
It's a possibility, right?
I don't know her. I mean, I don't know.
But another thing where I look at this, like this type of video or like her situation is there's a fine line between being a Christian or a God believer and a fanatic. Like when you're the type of person you just live what you're learning through, you know, the scriptures or God or whatever, you know, that's great. But when it's like a constant thing where all we're hearing about you is just like Jesus this, Jesus that, and well, Jesus said it becomes more like you're a fanatic.
It seems more like I don't want to say it like this about the Jesus and all that, but she sounds. Because if you hear her and you see her videos, it's all like she's not only a fanatic, but it's almost like a cult almost talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And it's like at some point, it's like, look, that's fine. You want to believe in Jesus and all that. That's great. You can. But you don't have to constantly say it all the time. It's like, I love Jesus, but I don't go around telling you constantly. I don't tell Alec constantly. I don't know his beliefs. You know, I always have two rules, right? When I talk to someone new. And when they start to talk about, oh man, well, what's your religion? I stop them. I said, look, I only got two rules, homie. I don't talk about the government and politics, and I don't talk about religion. Because on both spectrums, no one's ever going to be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think when we sat down, the time that we had Young Gones here, and we were talking about that very thing, I think I did mention something around the realms of like to divide what is religion to what is God, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you look at religion, I mean, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of religion. But when you're looking at just God in general, if you've read the scriptures, if you believe the scriptures, then that's all you should really guide yourself by, to where like there's always going to be some common grounds that you can find with somebody that even doesn't even share your beliefs. Like, who created all things?
Relevant.
True. True, but if you're a believer of God,
Yeah.
like if I'm asking a scientist, they might say, "Oh, well, there was an explosion and all."
There was the Big Bang.
Right, but if you're a believer of God and I ask, "Well, who created all things?"
God.
Boom,
So no one's right.
common ground.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
when you believe in God.
Okay, I got you.
No, you're talking about just in general. Yeah, you're gonna find all different kinds of stuff. Like you'll
Yeah.
find the ones that are like, "Oh, well, we're not even existing right now." You know this, right? You're like, "What?"
Well, I feel pretty existing right now, buddy. I don't-
And you're like, "No, this is just a dream."
Okay, that's nice. What if we die?
All right, Leonardo.
But what if we die and then we wake up and someone takes a headset off our heads and say, "How was that?" What would happen then?
Exactly, and that's crazy.
Alec, what would you do?
That's crazy.
Talk to me.
The one thing I always think is like the dramaticness of knowing that everyone that you knew is not real.
I'd freak the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that right now.
Like imagine you wake up like he's not real,
Yeah.
I'm not real,
Whoa.
like your parents aren't real, all the girls you
Whoa.
dated aren't real,
Whoa.
You never really got that pussy.
Damn.
Diddy isn't real. And that's
That'd be a
That
plus.
might be actually.
That'd be a plus.
that would be that would be a bummer for me. No.
Whoa, what you mean?
You'd probably be like, "Why the fuck would I try to think about a person like this? This is crazy."
You saw have y'all funny to bring this up, but have y'all seen Rick and Morty?
Oh, I freaking love Rick and
You
Morty.
remember the episode where he was in a video game, the life video game,
Oh yeah.
and he got pulled out and he was freaking out?
Like how long? Like how long can you make? I think Owl live, or I forgot what the guy's name was.
Yeah, and he lived to be like 60 something and had
Yeah.
a heart attack, and then he got pulled out and he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, the game was fun, right? He's like, he spent 60 years in there, like.
Oh, you know what? I think they have a couple episodes like that. Because then there's one where they bring it out again, and then he's like playing the game, and I think he beats cancer. He goes back to work at the rug company, and then like a
Yeah.
rug falls on him and kills him. It was like, yeah. But no, yeah. Back to the point with like this chick. I think she brings up a lot of great points. Good looking gal.
Oh yeah, she's
Good
beautiful.
looking. I mean, look at those.
I prefer her with this hair color than her
Honestly,
red.
yes. I like her a whole lot with this hair color than the red. And
How about you, Alec?
I think she's beautiful.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I
You
think she's
see?
gorgeous.
Hey.
gorgeous girl.
She is like, I know that like it's a dumb thing to say, but
Say it.
she is to that level of gorgeousness where like I as a man would be like suspicious
Oh, 100%.
if like she was talking to me. I'd be like, okay, like.
Oh yeah.
You're like, why are
who
you
are
talking to
you?
me?
Yeah.
That'd be
who
my
are you?
first question. Like seeing how I am, like how I look, and she come up to you, start flirting her. I was like, what's, is this a prank? Are you doing this for like to prank me or something?
Where is Ashton Kutcher?
I'm a huge fan of all things relevant. That's what she'd say.
Then I'd be like, oh, okay, now
Boy.
I'd be like, okay, now I know you're lying.
If she said that, I'd be grateful, but then I'd be like,
There's some-
yeah, well, yeah, you're up to something.
as I'm looking at Alec laughing his ass off because he's pranking me.
Like we just spoke about you not too long ago. Not all of it was good.
It's somewhere 50-50. It was half good, half
Well, I
bad.
remember one podcast she's been in lately. The same podcast she was on when she had red hair and she was like, "You can't cheat on me." That same podcast. She came back on, and she was talking to a gentleman that's pretty frequent on that podcast as well, and she was, questioning him or trying to teach him on a lesson on something, and the guy goes, No. You don't speak to me and try to lecture me when you've had 50 dicks in your mouth at like almost one time. Like you don't get to do that. And that's what I'm saying. It backtracks. Like it's hard to be able to take a constructive criticism or some kind of lesson or something from somebody that you've been seen in that light. It's tough. It's like, but really, can you tell me? Again, I'm not saying I don't believe people can change. I think people can change. It's just tough to see that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it though. I mean, it'd be hard to be like, hold on, no.
She's apparently married.
Now she's married.
Yeah, now she's married. Lucky husband.
Lucky guy. Look at that. Look at her. I mean,
I think the whole world may be laughing at him a bit.
I mean, a little bit.
I was gonna say depends how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, she definitely knows what she's doing in the sheets, right? But then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, she was probably also doing the same action with the other 50 to whatever guys she'd been
That
sleeping
guy,
with.
her husband, probably, yeah, man, you see my wife, and his friend meets him. or meets her, and she's like, "Hey, bro, you know I've seen her before, right?
Like,
I got her video still.
I got her videos. I got her pictures.
Like, oh, you look so familiar.
I know you from
I
somewhere.
know
I
I-
just can't figure out where.
That's why it'd be hard to date like an OF star or porn star. It'd be really hard to do that, just for the sense of like other guys have seen her too. You know what I mean?
It would be tough even if I were to like, let's say I met her, right? And we hit, let's say, right? And we hit it off and it's like, man, I like this girl. She liked me too, right? It'd be a little hard for me to be like, you know, yeah, I want to try something with her as far as relationship wise. Cause then I'd be just in the back of my head all the time.
Oh
like,
yeah,
well,
100%.
but she's been with like a bunch of guys.
A lot of
It's
so,
like,
and girls.
And girls, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But anyways, I thought that was a great video to have, and the way I titled that for Alex was the hypocrisy of this generation, and it's because it's true.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what y'all think about this. We would love to hear from you. Why don't nobody comment on our stuff, Sal?
Well, you know,
I want to do a comment episode where we just look through all the comments and make fun of people.
we'd have a very dry episode. I'm going to tell you that
That's
right
very
now.
true. Alec, make a bunch of accounts and comment on all our videos.
Okay, I got you.
Now everybody knows.
I'll make it
but that's
super
Alec.
obvious it's me. Like,
He's gonna make it super
I'm gonna
obvious.
make the profile photo of her face,
But his name's gonna be Young Alex 69.
and I'm be like, "Who's that man on the right?"
There you
Oh,
go. Is it me?
Jesus.
Okay.
Man, good looking girl.
There you go. Okay.
All right, let's keep it on rolling to
What you
whatever
got next,
the
Sal?
next clip is.
Now, just so you know, I have no idea what videos he brought either.
so these are all new to him.
I
To,
have
like
no idea.
everything he's looking at.
Who's that?
Oh, that's gonna be a fun one.
Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, is that the Snow White lady?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Nah.
Watch this.
Let's see it. Let's hear
Being
it.
the focal point of why a lot of people aren't going to go see this movie is actually the symptom of a much larger disease. Zegler and the modern writers at Disney don't know who Snow White is, or more accurately, what she represents. Take a look at what Zegler said about the original film.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
And what's this modern solution to this weird problem?
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not going to be
yeah.
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
In other words, they see the original Snow White as weak. They see her as powerless and at the mercy of everything around her. So they're going to fix Snow White. And to do that, they're going to use the same tired trope that every girl boss movie has used for years now. It's going to be a hero's journey where she recognizes the power that she had inside herself all along. I'm tired, boss. What they fail to realize is that Snow White is one of the most powerful Disney princesses to ever grace the screen. The issue is that they can't see that because the lens of modernity makes it completely invisible to people like Rachel Zegler. It's true, the 1937 Snow White didn't lift a finger to fight or recognize inner power, because the power she held wasn't in her self-confidence or belief in her inner strength. Her power was in her capability to inspire change in everything around her for the better through her purity, kindness, and goodness. Snow White was so precious to everyone around her because she didn't just improve their lives with her presence, she inspired people to improve themselves. Zegler being the focal point of why a lot of people aren't going to go see this movie is actually the symptom of a much larger disease. Zegler and the modern writers at Disney don't know who Snow White is, or more accurately, what she represents. Take a look at what Zegler said about the...
Oh, I didn't realize it looped until
It
now.
loop there. No. That one's a fun one just because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the movie already came out.
Yeah, it's already bombing.
Yeah. And
Rightfully so.
rightfully so.
Well, it's like you're an idiot. It's like no one. It's like he's right. It's like I'm lost for words over here. It's like you make a movie and then you get an actress who can barely speak English to play the evil queen or whatever it is, and it's like, come on now. And it's like you want to make it to where And plus, in the original, he didn't stalk her. He went to go save her. And it's like, how do you get to? I don't know, Sal. To talk Sal because I'm losing it over here.
Well, I've been at a loss for words with a lot of the comments that Ziegler has made, even before the movie came out, like way before. And I know that since the beginning of her speaking these things, she thinks she's speaking things that is just great and people want to hear. And only some people want to hear the things that she's saying. And a lot of the things that she's saying applies more to the feminist.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's the whole, she can be herself. She doesn't need a man and this and that. And it's annoying because you look at like what he just said. And too many of the times what the feminists, want to portray is like, you're strong, you're confident, you're this, you're that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then you look at how he was explaining the way in which Snow White is one of the strongest female characters of the Disney realm.
Yeah.
It's in her kindness, her purity, how she has that ability to help people see how they can be great. And it's like that gets shoved away when you're like, oh, she's confident, she's strong, she doesn't need a man to save her. But you did, like, at the end of the day, you still have to think, like, what is so wrong with a man saving a woman?
Yeah.
What is so wrong with that? I pull up, I'm driving, I see a woman, oh, she's got the flat, and I'm genuinely trying to help. Right? Not like a porn video where it's like, oh, I helped her, now she's got to freaking blow me. No, I'm talking about genuinely like, hey, it looks like you need to change your tire. Like, I can help you. Would that be all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please, help me. And then you changed out the tire, you saved her. Yeah. You were the hero. What is so wrong with that?
Nothing. Not at all.
But this is what the feminists try to portray and say, oh, yeah, no, that's wrong.
All men are evil.
Men are evil. Men, we don't need them. We can do things by ourselves. Like there was a podcast a little while back that I was watching as well. I wish I would have found the video earlier, but the girl's like, I don't need a man. I don't need a man to help me with my car. Fix it. I could take it to the mechanic. Who the fuck do you think is the mechanic?
No, yeah.
It's not another woman.
No.
It's also a dude.
It's like you're still taking it to a man to fix it for you.
Oh, Jesus. So that is what is so wrong with a lot of these things, and I really don't know how much they changed up the movie because I haven't seen it, and I'm probably not gonna look at it. Like if I go and watch this movie, or if I wait for it to hit Disney Plus and then I watch it, or I don't even if it's out there already, I don't know. It'll be just out of curiosity of me wanting to laugh at the changes that they made.
Yeah.
And just laugh about it.
But it's like, if you hate it, because there's videos of her saying how much she hates the Snow White character from back then. But it's like, if you hate it that much, why would you agree to do it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then you want to change everything for what? You're nobody. You're really a nobody actor trying to change everything. You're spreading, like, she's single-handedly killed that movie by herself just by doing interviews and stuff about it.
I honestly didn't even know about her until this. Like before this, I'm like, who the heck is this chick?
Yeah.
That's the crazy part that you point out with like how she killed it in the interviews.
Yeah.
Like not killed it in a good way, but like she killed
she literally like put a bullet to its head and
honestly, if the movie was just about Snow White and it was like a modern movie where she's like, being all powerful or whatever, I don't think anyone would have really noticed or cared so much. But since she went on and did these interviews, y'all think that she made it much worse than it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because had she not said anything, had she just been like, oh, you know what, we're prepping for the movie, it's going to be great, we want everybody to come out and watch it, and we did change it a bit, but we want you guys to observe it for yourself, right?
We changed the concept of it. We have a different view on it.
We have a different view on it.
But we hope you enjoy it.
But we hope you, like, nobody knows, right? You're just like, well, what did they change?
Well, let's go watch it.
Let's go watch it and see what they changed.
But when she openly says, oh, yeah, he stalked her and it's weird. And it's like, but it's like, he never really stalked her, though. It's like, It's like was she the one where he had to go and kiss her and then wake her up? Was that the one? Or is that
I believe so. Yeah, she was, I think, dead, and then he gets there and kisses her. Oh, because of the apple.
The apple.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so then she wakes up because she was kissed by true love, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking shit is.
She broke the number one rule of like using politics and dividing your fan base in half.
Oh yeah, she did that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
And then you get the Fast and the Furious, the Wonder Woman lady who's barely can speak fluent English and to be the evil queen.
I think I've said this before. I don't know the lady personally, right? She seems like she's a nice lady, whatever. She's pretty, very pretty. I personally do not think she's even a good actress. If you were to compare her with other actresses, like she's at the bottom of the list.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do think it's poor casting.
Yeah.
And going back to like our previous video where it's like, you know, oh, this person can do this and say this, but then nothing happens. Oh, but if I say it, then like, oh, it's terrible. I think accountability is a problem. Like, I get it. They think about, oh, the money that we're going to be set back with and this and that. But I think when you hold people accountable, even these celebrities, like, it'll make them see, hey, you got to watch what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like if they would have said, you know what? No. You're killing it. You're killing it for us. We don't care if we have to reshoot this shit. Get out. We're not having you in the movie.
Well, did you see, what's her name? Something Cooper, I think, or I forgot her name. But another.
But she's an actress?
No.
Oh.
She was, I forgot what her name. I think it's something Cooper. I think I'm not sure. She's very beautiful though. But she was on her and this independent studio. They redid Snow White the way Snow White should have been. I don't know I don't know if they released it or if it's getting released or what. But just from like the views or just from the videos and stuff of it, I mean, it looks solid. It looks a lot better than what this trash is making.
I believe you. I think anything that. And then another thing, I think
her name is Brett Cooper, I think.
Here's another thing about that situation. It's a live action remake, which means stick to what it is that the original movie was, because guess who's going to want to go watch that movie?
Kids.
And even people that like, oh, I remember watching that movie when it came out.
No.
Well, not 1930. When was that movie that came out? The movie came out
1936, I think.
So maybe not that, but like I watched that movie when I was little.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
So when you're younger, you're like, oh yeah, I remember watching that movie. I'd go watch it again.
And live action.
Exactly.
Got it. I'm going. I'm there.
I would have gone to watch it had this bullshit not been like a thing. And I mean, I'm not going by myself. Like, I'm taking my nieces, you know, like I'm like taking my sister and my nieces, like inviting them, and we'll go sit and have a good time and watch this movie. And I know they'd enjoy it right now, even though they'd probably never even seen the original one.
Yeah.
And sure, but I would have preferred to take them to this, being if it would have stuck to the original story. I would have been like, yeah, I want to take my nieces to this.
I mean, you can remake it and stick to the original story and still tweak it a little bit, but not completely change it on its head and make it to where, you know, you want to try to be the hero and the guy's nowhere to be found and you want to be strong and independent, you know?
Well, I think that they even went as far as to like, they didn't want to cast actual, what's the word?
Midgets?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to call them.
You know what I mean? They were like, we're not going to do that because it's like, but why?
Like,
you're giving.
There's a lot of actor midgets that are mad. Probably they're like, man, I was trying to try out.
Exactly. Like I would have freaking auditioned for it. And it's like, what is wrong with it? Because, and honestly, I feel like you're doing more damage CGIing the characters in as being small midgets rather than actually casting actual small midget people. Because then it's like, oh, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Being a midget is a bad thing.
That's what they're saying, man.
It's like, bro, you don't have control over that shit. How about you just actually cast midgets? And then it's like, you're even giving them a chance to show up on screen. maybe make something out of their career after that, and you just took it away because you're like, oh no, that's bad.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna CGI them and make it hire voice actors.
Yeah, it's like, all right, sure, whatever.
Oh man,
I actually just saw a really good movie last night, though.
Was it Earthquake Woody?
No,
Okay,
it's The Electric State.
okay, I don't know what that is.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Is it good?
It's good. It's good. It's got some popular, what's it called? Kind of like characters in there. Mr. Peanut, Sonic,
Oh, okay.
Cosmo,
The Fairly Odd Parent guy.
the robot, Cosmo the robot, something like that. And it also teaches something pretty nice in there. So it's got Chris Pratt and what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown. Gorgeous girl, by the
She
way.
is. Yeah.
Everybody was sleeping on her. That's what I say.
Yeah.
When she was coming up, and I'm like, man, that girl's pretty. And everybody's like, dude, but that's a young girl. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying I'm gonna fuck her. I'm saying she's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then now that
it
she's
does
like,
it does come off weird though, hitting it from you.
it could come off weird all at once. But
As long
now
as
that-
you don't mean it though.
What? No. I said she's pretty. I didn't say anything bad.
Okay, there you go.
I said, oh, yeah, she's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And now that she's 21,
There it is, Sal. There it
Who else
is.
but Sal?
Who else but Salvador?
good looking girl, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And there it is. There to come out now. Oh.
no,
Had
but
a timer, a countdown, and everything.
No, but
There
if,
you go,
but
yeah.
if, you know what I'm saying is like other guys that might look at her and they don't really know her. They're like, oh yeah, that girl looks. It's like, you know, she's 21, right? Really? Oh, she's young. Yeah, we're sleeping on her.
Okay. Yeah. No. 100%. Yeah. She did phenomenal work in Stranger Things.
Oh, the whole thing. Like, I'm ready for the next Stranger Thing.
Oh, I am too, bro.
I'm like, what? What's going on? When is it coming
I
out?
slept on that show for the longest time, and I was like, nah, okay, I guess I'll give it a try. And I was like, oh wow, I'm in love with this show.
I waited for a while on the first season. I slept on it, and then I finally watched it. And then I was like, dude, as soon as season 2 comes out, watching it, binged it.
I did. I binged
And then
everything.
season 3 came out. Oh, I binged it. Boy, what a show.
What a great show that was. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. Stranger Things.
Got a colleague of mine that I was telling him he was going to take some time off, and I said, dude, he's like, I'm doing a staycation. I'm like, dude, watch all of the fucking Stranger Things. He's like,
100%.
yeah, I've heard about it. Is it good? I'm like, no, it's not good. It's
great.
amazing. It's excellent.
It's
and he's like, oh
flippin'
yeah. And
amazing.
he's like, you know what? I'm a binge the whole thing. All right, cool.
As you should.
See, his week was done. He came back. I was like, hey, what'd you think about the Stranger Things? Oh man, I didn't watch it, man. I'm like, oh, bro, you know what?
He spent the whole time masturbating.
Then I don't want to talk to you anymore. This friendship workship is over.
You are no longer my work friend.
But anyways, guys, comment about if you guys have even watched the Snow White movie, or you're gonna watch it, whatever, or whatever your opinion is on
What are
it.
your thoughts on it?
Please comment, guys. These reaction videos are like one of the best things because we get to hear you guys' opinion, or you get to comment. Hey, I like this about what you said about this. This is my look on this, guys. There's no wrong opinion. Like, this is what's great. We get to kind of interact, get to know some of you guys that watch our podcast, and see what it is that you guys think about this or that and the third. So make sure that you comment,
and then follow, and then subscribe.
Yes, let's roll on over to the next one. Let's
Next
see
one,
what
what
the
we got for
is
next
about.
one, Sal? Never seen this one.
Oh, it's something great for sure.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Oh, look, it's Cat Williams.
Watch this iconic moment when Cat Williams predicted Diddy's downfall back in the early beginning of 2024.
I know so many things I should know, and they all know it. They cancel me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side, and we don't care nothing about the other side. All lies will be exposed. All of these deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. If you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, you will tell it. This is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
Watch this.
Heads go down because they know he stayed 10 toes to the ground.
Yeah. Well, we were just earlier talking about this. Well, joking about this with the whole, if Jesus was P. Diddy. It's a joke, guys. Okay, I know some people will consider that what did the chick say?
Blasphemy.
I was about to say, I don't think she'd be very happy with you.
Yeah, she'd
Blasphemy.
be very bothered right now. Like, you shouldn't joke like that about Jesus.
And you'd be like, it's okay, because you were probably with him.
Oh, burn from Alec.
Burn. Just
burn,
like
brother.
hell. Anyways, it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Okay. I'm a very comedic person, and I definitely say very outlandish stuff.
And if y'all hear that he got struck by lightning, well, you know what happened.
Yeah, definitely. Let me pour myself
ahead,
a little something here that before we get into this one, because
I mean, he had a.
That's it. Did you ever see that podcast that he had with Shannon Sharp?
I think I glanced at it once, and that was it.
Oh, he said a lot of stuff on there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was just...
I mean, but he was spinning a lot of facts, though. It was like, a lot of the stuff he was saying is true. It was like, Cat Williams was the type of guy that he wasn't going to give in to all of that nonsense. Him and Ice Cube weren't going to give in to all of that, so.
Well, Cat's lived through like a lot of tough times coming up in his success. I'll say success. I won't say his fame because he doesn't really concern himself with that. But his success, and he's seen a lot of things. He's heard a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Been around a lot of things that normal people would not be around, while still being a normal person. Like, I really do think Cat's just a regular, cutthroat, run-of-the-mill kind of guy. He just has money. Is really what it is. But in that sit down he did, I mean, he's just really speaking a lot of things that he had been saying for a very long time. But it's just we all took it as a joke because he's a
comedian.
And so we look at it like, he's just, And I can kind of I guess resonate with that because like I tend to joke around so much that when I am saying something serious, people kind of chuckle, and then I'm like, no, but like I'm being serious. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were being like, yes, I have my serious moments. I have my moments where I am actually being serious about a certain thing, and you'll know because I'm not laughing about it. Like I'm being sincere. And what he's saying here, I think, is true. Like even since like 2024 and on, like there's been a lot of stuff coming out to light.
Oh, yeah.
About a lot of these people that people thought, especially on these celebrity ends where they're like, oh, they're really great people. And you're like, oh, wow, they're really not that great.
Oh, no, not at all. Well, because they sell their soul. They sell their soul, and then the higher beings or higher ups, whatever, want them to humiliate themselves and to show their loyalty. And greed is a very powerful sin, because you want, and there's no amount of money in the road that anybody will say, I'm good. Because you want it all. You want all the money. So you'll be able to do whatever, you'll humiliate yourself however you want to get all the money. And they'll give it to you. But you have to be willing to pay the price.
Yeah. And that's the thing with, I think it's a very small number of people that are willing to reject a certain fortune, I'll say that much, for their dignity and their integrity and their morals. It's a very small number. Cat's one of those dudes where he's just like, no, I'm not freaking doing that. Are you kidding me?
The same with Ice Cube.
And the same with Ice Cube.
Did you see his tour that he was doing, his podcast tour? He was pretty much talking the same thing Cat was talking about.
Well, he has a podcast?
No, he was doing a podcast tour. Like he was going on different podcasts.
Oh, different podcasts. Okay, cool.
And he just kept saying he was saying a lot of similar things that they were trying to get him to do stuff, and he was like, I ain't doing it. A lot of people forget Cube's a gangster from back. He's a gangster from back then.
Cube's a G.
He don't play no shit either. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I ain't doing none of that stuff y'all want me to do. I'll make my own way. I'll be successful on my own.
I think there's only one thing that he said. So he mentioned that on this podcast, to sit down with Shannon Sharp, that and I don't know what, I mean, maybe his mentality, like I don't get it, but he was on a podcast earlier this year with another comedian. Some white dude has a country accent, like a country, but anyways, he got on there and he mentioned about how he referenced this sit down with Shannon Sharp where he said, well, there isn't a God side and the evil side. He's like, I said that to see if anybody would call me out on this and that. And that's probably the only thing I did disagree with him on when he mentioned that, because I was like, Cat, what do you mean, Cat? Like, you know this as much as anybody else, being who he is. To say that there's not a light side and a dark side is unreasonable. There is a light side and there is a dark side.
There's definitely two sides.
Yeah. There isn't, and it's crazy. Like, not too long ago, the other day, I was reading these pages of the scripture where it said that we don't, as human beings, we don't have a battle against the politics and the rulers and the very well known of this world, but rather a fight against the darker spirits. And that's true. There's obviously something running the show, and it's not these people that we're seeing. It's something beyond us. It's
Illuminati.
Possibly.
And there's maybe even something worse than they are. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Well, most definitely worse than them.
Is it Diddy?
Diddy's just the puppet.
He's one of their captains.
He's the puppet, but there's puppeteers. And that's the dark side.
Oh yeah, very much.
And that's scary. I don't ever. There's people. I've talked with people and they're like, "Oh, have you seen this movie?" And I'm like, "What is that?" "Oh, it's a horror film." I'm like, "What do you mean, like with demons?" Yeah. No, thank you.
You don't like watching those?
I stay away from those.
Why?
Entirely. And people are like, exactly just like you did. Why? And I'm like, because even though it's a movie, that fucking shit is real, bro. Dark spirits, evil spirits, demons, they exist.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not fucking with them in any kind of way or fact. Except for like with Naruto.
From Naruto.
Oddly enough, or like Castlevania. Like,
oh, yeah, that's a good show.
I mean, I had to chill with them for a bit. Mm-hmm. Still questionable sometimes when I'm watching it. I'm like, fuck, and I'm like looking to the side, and I'm like
closing your closet.
Afraid Susanoo's gonna pop out.
Yeah, just like looking at my closet, like, are you there?
Are you there? Hello, Dracula, are you there?
Got Madara watching you while you sleep.
What do we got next, Sal?
Ninetales.
The Pokemon?
No, not that.
Okay, I got you.
We don't have it about 80 years on Earth.
Oh, Muhammad.
This is a test to see where will we spend our life in heaven and hell. This is not the life now. Your real self is inside you. Your body gets old. Some of you go to look at the fridge, you don't have no teeth. Your hair is leaving you. Your bodies get tired. But your soul and your spirit never die. That's going to live forever. So your body is just housing your soul and spirit. So God is testing us on how we treat each other, how we live, to see where our real home be in heaven. So this physical stuff don't last for so long. We don't have it about 80.
I really did like this video.
That's a good one.
It's, the insight on what he's talking about. There's things from it that I picked up on that I was like, okay, I like that. That sounds great. Mm-hmm. And there was things that I just, I didn't agree with it, and it's fine. But to think about that idea, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy, like kind of to like what Alec was saying, where he was talking about, what if you take the helmet off, and it turns out you were never really like, this is not really what you were living. None of this was real. Like,
sorry.
Go ahead, bud.
I was gonna say, I think one of the scariest things I've ever heard was the concept of your mind being the only thing to exist, and there is like no universe. There is nothing but your mind in existence. To me, that's a very terrible feeling. Like that's a terrifying thought.
Does it give you the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
There you go.
Yeah, but oddly enough, only around his penis.
Whoa. Whoa.
Imagine like thinking about the universe and just getting hard.
Does that happen?
Damn, that cosmic hole.
It happens sometimes. If you're an astrophysicist, I would imagine it happens.
Yeah, definitely. But the idea that, hey, you know, there's the soul, and then you're just living in this shell just to kind of test the person that you really are, you know, to then see what do you merit. It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, Saul, can you bring your mic up a little bit?
Okay.
Just a little bit closer to you.
Am I
There
sounding-
you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever you look at the TV, you're like,
On my way. Okay, awesome. I love
You see, there you go.
keeping me on check.
Mid session too.
Keeping me on check. Keeping making sure that I'm staying on the
We're
point.
keeping this in too, so everybody knows how good he is.
That's right.
I want them. It's more. I just want them to know he messed up.
Okay. Oh damn!
God damn it.
God damn it, Alec!
You know what? We're gonna talk after this, dog.
You are getting a pay cut today, sir.
I'm about to
That's
put you
okay.
on the couch.
Oh, nobody knows about that couch
Whoa,
yet.
not the couch.
Nobody knows about
When's
that
the couch episode?
I don't know. When is the couch
So
episode?
you know, but we have to have, like Alec was saying. We were talking the other day. It was like, you know, that's meant for more like 6 people or more, right? I think is what Alec was saying. So we'd have to have 6 people.
It is, but I've done 2 people like on that side before.
Oh, he's done 2
okay.
people on that side.
Yeah, I've done.
Oh, he's
Is,
done.
is that why that couch is white?
It was brown before.
Whoa, was it black?
It's crazy because it wasn't even brown before that.
Oh, whoa.
Awesome.
Anyway,
But back to the
we're getting off track
yeah,
here.
back to the topic at hand. I find it to be a fascinating idea. I am in disagreement with it. I don't think that this is, you know, I'm here now to have the soul, and then this is my shell, and then, you know, depending how I treated people and all this, it depends what I merit, and only out of the plain idea that it's like, when we think about heaven, it sounds like a really great thing, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, oh, I'm gonna be in
The pearly
heaven
gates and-
with God and all that, and I'm gonna see my loved ones again in heaven and all this. I just feel like when I think about that, right?
When you think about,
I
okay.
don't want anybody to get it.
Yeah, don't get mad at him.
Don't get mad.
Don't
Don't get
attack my boy here.
misunderstood that I'm saying anything wrong about
This is
whatever
his
you
opinion.
believe. Just
Okay,
my
there you go.
opinion.
Go ahead, Sal. Floor's yours.
There is too much of everybody wanting to be there, right?
Oh yeah.
So and there's too much of the idea that when somebody passes away, the loved ones are like, oh, but he's with God now, because to them that was a great person, right? But do you think at a certain point, maybe Hitler's family was like, you know, he's got to be with God now?
Oh, I'm 100% sure. I'm sure they were just as delusional as he was.
You got to think that at a certain point, those
Well, think about it. Every serial killer, other than Richard Ramirez, I know was like, Richard Ramirez knows he was going to hell. He knew off the jump he was evil. But a lot of serial killers and a lot of just people, like you said, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to heaven. Well, what justifies you just chop that person's head off? What makes you think you can go to heaven?
right. So, for example, I was still going with it. Like, for example, you don't think that the family of these people that committed school shootings are like, oh, but he's with God now because he was a good person. Because in all those things, you'll see people like, oh, I didn't know he could be capable of this. He was such a quiet, good person. And so they're thinking he's with God now in heaven, right?
No, the first thing I would say, no, he ain't.
Right. So
he's not there.
So then there's the conflict. So if everybody's going to heaven,
It must be packed.
it's packed with a bunch of freaking idiots too.
I don't know about.
And
all
then
that,
that's
but-
why I think, damn, I don't want to go to heaven. Fuck, if I got a problem with somebody here, I don't want to meet them up there and have the same freaking controversy.
death and afterlife is a very complicated thing to try to understand. You would nobody in this world would ever understand something like that unless it happens to you and you see it firsthand from your soul going somewhere. You know, it's a very, very complicated thing to try to talk about and understand, because that falls in the parameters of religion and stuff of being, you know, that's another thing that people will fight about, of heaven and hell and you know, going up and down and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, again, I do get that, but again, that's why I said, like, I divide religion and biblical truth, right? Like the scriptures. Like when I think about heaven, and then I think, okay, so heaven's a good place, and you should want to be up there with God. Great. And then I think about like the situation with Lazarus, right? Like he died, and so he should have been with God, but then God brought him back down. Like it's weird. It's a weird idea. But anyways, going back to this, I like the idea.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea of thinking that, hey, you know, by the way, this is just a temporary thing while we show who we are, and then later we jump. Essentially, that's what I'm thinking, right? Or unless it's just that's it, right? But then maybe it's like, do you get to heaven, and then it's like, hey, you didn't treat people correctly, go and do this again, and this time do it right.
Which is essentially reincarnation.
Reincarnation, right?
And people believe in that.
And some people do believe in that, yeah. But then I'm questioning like what he's saying, because then he's like, that determines if you enter to heaven or hell. So if you did it right, meaning you treated people correctly, then you're in the club.
But what justifies treating them correctly, though? You know what I mean?
Well, God would know that.
Exactly.
God would know that. I'm not a judge. Neither should anybody else think that they're judges to say, oh, well, you're going to heaven. And that's why I say, like, when we have, like, relatives, right? Like, if I have a relative that passed away, I mean, I've had relatives that I'm close with, I love. I'm not going to think if they're going to heaven or hell. I don't know. That's not for me to judge.
They're going somewhere.
They're going somewhere. I just don't know where.
I mean, they could be reincarnated into another person. Who knows?
I'm not sure which religion it is, but one of the most interesting ones to me when it came to reincarnation is this whole idea that you're like here to like learn something and you are everyone on earth. Like the whole idea of that religion was like you will live as every person who has ever lived on earth. Like after, it's like say after you're done being Saul, your next life you live his life. Then next you live, I don't know, Trump's life. Then you live like
that's a good life.
Then you live like I don't know, like Tom Cruise's life. Then you live Hitler's life.
Oh my
then
God.
you live the Jews that he killed's life.
No, I don't want that.
Dude, I don't
Basically,
want
you live as everyone.
Let's stop at
and
Trump.
everything.
I can't wait to live. I can't wait to live. What's his name? The top G.
Oh,
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. I can't wait to live his life.
You don't want to live Johnny Sin's life?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, no.
Dude, got a lot of tail.
But my point was,
I get it.
at the very end, you kind of like learn something. You know what I mean? Like you've lived as everyone, so you get the like
That
whole
ultimate
point.
lesson of everything. When do I get to live as Jesus?
I have no idea. He's gonna be the one telling you where to go. Hey, buddy,
When do I live your life, buddy?
He's gonna be at bonus level.
He's like
Move aside.
extra.
He's gonna be the bonus level. He's the DLC content.
I'm gonna write some new stuff. I'm just kidding.
But what if reincarnation is taking the goggles off? Someone takes the goggles off of you and said, "You like that life, or you want to try another one?" Like, what if that was what reincarnation is? What you got, Alec? You got anything?
That'd be a pretty hard. Draw. Like, do I want to restart my life, or potentially live a better or a worse one?
That's $1 million question.
And all of these,
Because what if
I know they're beliefs, right? But they're essentially theories, right? Like, in none of these lives do you remember your past life.
No,
you're just living in that same life as that person, right? So I think the same thing with like the multiverse, right? Like I'm like, man, what if that's? And I say this because my nephew asked me the other day. He's like, "Do you believe in that? Like, do you believe in like the multiverse? Like you exist in another universe?"
I think so.
As like but your life is different and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'm not knocking it out that it's not possible. I mean, it could be possible, but it's crazy to think that that could exist, and yet I would never experience it because all I know is what I'm living here in this presence. Like, I don't know anything outside of this.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty
It's a
interesting
possibility
idea.
to have another Sal that's superpowers, or another Alec that's president, or another me that's chilling somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is a pretty interesting idea. But to what I will say about what he was saying on this, one of the things that I extracted from it was the treating of people.
Yeah.
I think it is important that we treat each other with the most respect and kind and everything that we could treat each other with. It's tough.
Just don't be dicks.
Sometimes it is tough. If I sat here and told you I've treated everybody greatly in my life, I'd be fucking lying to
I
you.
know you're lying 100%.
There are some people that I've treated unfairly.
I've heard you talk when we first met, Sal. No, that'd be 100% lie.
But I'm willing to admit, that as a person, I have things to work on. One of them is.
But nobody ever truly treats anybody the right way. Never. Because in someone's eyes, the nicest person is still doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
So you can't really say that you need to treat people right in this, because it doesn't matter how right you think they're treating them. If the person's the nicest person in the room, someone else is going to say, man, that dude's an asshole.
Well, it's kind of like the good book says, there is nobody on earth that reaches the glory of God.
Yeah.
And that's true.
No, yeah.
We're all sinners. We're all people that at times make bad calls. We make bad decisions. We make, we treat somebody in a way that they did not deserve. But it's progress, right? You have to constantly be working at it. And the interesting thing about it is, though, you're never going to get it 100% right.
Yeah.
Like, if you excel on one thing that you're working on, you might fail at one thing that you were excellent at, and now it has diminished a little bit because it's just imperfection.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But to that, what I'll say with the video, it did kind of open my eyes to, hey, I really got to work on treating people better. Sometimes, yeah, I can be a little bit of a dick. Mainly after some drinks. Like me, myself, I'm a okay guy. But after some drinks, and then the other guy comes out, that guy's a dick.
The 2020 Sal?
Yeah. That guy's a fucking dick.
That's crazy, because as much as you drank when I first met you, you didn't cuss when I first met you. Not until recently.
Yeah, I become a whole different person in a way.
And you didn't wear glasses. He's wearing glasses, everybody. Can you see that? Glasses. Glasses guy.
To make myself look a little more intellectual.
There you go.
Than I am.
But, yeah, I mean, you've changed a lot since then. So, yeah, I mean, I get it.
But I wonder, did I change for the better or for the worse?
That's up to you to decide.
I wonder. Exactly.
That's up to you.
I think I've changed for the worse.
No, I don't think so.
I really do.
I think you're a great guy now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
what you got, Alec?
I just said all.
Oh.
Aw moment.
There we go. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Still cheers. There you go.
I will say this. I haven't changed for the best in every way. I'm still definitely working and trying to rough out the edges.
Oh, I mean, you're never gonna stop working on yourself. Right. You're never gonna reach to a point where, like, you know what, I'm good. You never. And that's with anybody. You're always gonna work on yourself one way or another. You know what I mean?
I'll say this much on this sit down right now. Anybody who I've ever treated unfairly, or I kind of shot out of the way and did something that was unacceptable. I'm sorry. Unacceptable. I do apologize.
There you go.
I'm very sorry about that.
If he's ever done you wrong, leave a comment under the video.
Yes. And then and it's gonna be Alec on the bunch of profiles.
Sal, we've got 2 million comments.
and it's just been Alec the whole time, and with different profile pictures with his name in them.
Different profile pictures of that one chick, whatever her name is.
Nala something.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, her with a hat, her with a mustache,
her with the fake mustache on her face.
Just pick great pictures of Nala.
The mustache isn't even centered; it's like kind of off center a little bit.
It's like it's all the same photo, just with like different like hats and stuff.
And an eye patch.
Well, the thing is that the changes, that's why I say, like, I'm a great believer of people changing, is because life is very fickle and fragile.
Yeah.
It's just constantly changing, man.
Always.
And it's like this one moment, if you don't react to it in the appropriate way, definitely alters and changes a lot of whatever it is that happens down the road. I think they call that the butterfly effect or something of the sort. And it's true. It's very true. Yeah.
I often wonder, like, on certain stuff I'll do, it's like I'll do something and I'm like, I wonder if I just changed the future somehow.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're like there's one thing that if I would have done it this way, it would have led me to be like a very successful, prominent person with a family and all this. And then, but since I did it like this, I'm lonely and I'm jacking off until I die.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. But it's like I wonder, like, if we had this podcast idea in 2020, where would we be now? You know what I mean? It's like that's one of the things I often think about. It's like if we would have started it. And what's going on over there, Sal?
I don't know. There's an object in my glass.
Nah, you'd be okay. So
I don't know where it came from, but I think it might have been from the.
Oh, you see, there you go.
Cork thing.
You should go show it to the camera.
No, he's done with it already.
Did you drink the object?
Yeah. I guess it'll come out later.
There you go. You're gonna analyze it. But anyway, back to. I lost my train of thought here. I forgot what Alec. What was I saying?
We were talking about drinking objects.
No, before that.
We were talking about the differences of if you made a certain choice in life at a certain point.
So I asked the question of if we had done this in 2020, back when this was the hype, right?
Yeah, everybody was doing podcasting back in 2020.
So if we would have done it then, where would we be? So then I often think about that. If we would have done it back then and stuck to it how we're sticking to it now, would we get to where we didn't have to work and only had to do this? Or would we still be in that same path? You know what I mean? It's just another obstacle in our way.
Well, to say that we didn't have to work, I don't know how I view that. I'd still have to work. I can't just sit out. Like, you know, one of the things that I've been thinking about is like it'd be kind of grand to do like to be a gamer.
Like a Twitch streamer?
Yeah, like just freaking like I love gaming, right? Yeah. Like I've don't really play as much as I would like to now because my life is not of that level where I get to game and get paid. But if that could be it, like that would be the ultimate thing for me. Like gaming and being on the Twitch and getting paid and then doing bro.
We should do a dual Twitch thing now.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Lately, I've been playing Monster Hunter.
You're a big Monster Hunter guy.
Love it. Love that game. I wish I had friends to play with. Sadly, I don't have them.
Oh, come on.
Except, the imaginary ones. Those guys are.
The ones in your head?
Well, it's only one guy. Hate talking to that guy. That dude can go freaking die on a hill. No, you guys don't know. That guy's a dick.
Yeah.
He needs to change.
He really needs to change. And I try to get him into that, like, understanding that he needs to change. Mm-hmm. And he's always got a rebuttal about something where I'm like, hey, but this and that. And he's like, oh, yeah. But remember how when you did that and you were a great person to that person and they treated you like this? Remember that shit? And then I'm like, yes, I try not to, but thank you for bringing it up.
Dick.
Fucking dick.
There's something going on with your imaginary friend there, Sal.
Nah, he's just hurt.
Okay.
I've come to understand he's just hurt, and the way he takes it out is by doing hurtful things.
By being a dick.
Whenever you get, since you're like the creator of him, do you ever like just make him like fat or something if you're mad at him? Like just increase his body mass or something like that?
No, he just always looks exactly like me, except he always has this like hollow look to his eyes.
Damn.
Like he just doesn't feel anything.
Are you okay, Sal?
Nah, not really.
Do you need a hug after this?
Possibly.
Alec,
This has been a really revealing podcast.
We're gonna give him a group hug after this, Alec.
All right.
I don't know that I want to do that.
From both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah, see, that's where I thought
Alec
that was going.
back.
I said, no, don't do that.
He gets the back. You get the back, Alec.
But anyways, let's go on to the next one before this.
Oh, there's another one. Okay.
Gets off the rail. Oh, there is.
Oh, it's been off the rails for a long
there's
time.
like a couple or.
I don't think there's any saving you.
No, not at all. You see, he gets it.
What do men want us to bring to the table?
We want femininity, we want submissiveness, and we want a lack of conflict. As a woman, if you're just chill and you don't quarrel and nag, you don't even have to be good looking. Just don't annoy us. That's it. That's all you gotta be.
So what is she doing, though?
So everything I listed basically is not enough for you, but what are you listing that she's actually doing? Just don't be annoying. So what is she doing then? Sitting there?
So-
like you're not
See,
giving
she's
any
already
actual,
annoying.
Like,
No, but
good characteristics of what you're
lack
looking
of
for.
negative things,
Of course.
is a thing. So like,
Yeah.
you can go into the positive. Like
So you
you can
just
be
want a positive
pleasant.
partner?
Yeah, you should be positive. You should be pleasant. But like a lot of men, we don't want to deal with nagging and quarreling. A lot of women, I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women don't bring peace to their man. And a lot of dudes, if you're dealing with a guy of a certain caliber, his life is difficult. He's already contending with the world. He doesn't want to go home where his peace should be and dealing with a quarreling, nagging woman. Just be his peace.
I agree.
That's it. Be his peace, be feminine, be submissive, and be attractive enough.
What do men want?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole submissive thing is kind of like a strong word, but but yeah, I mean, you shouldn't deal with the world all day long.
I like that you said that.
What?
Because that's exactly what was going on through my mind when I.
Yeah, I could third that.
Yeah, submissive is a strong word.
It is.
I get it.
It's a very brutal word if you think about it.
However, this is where probably where I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay, here we go.
It goes both ways. Just the same as a woman should be submissive to a man should be submissive to his woman in this sense. In this sense. As a man, you expect loyalty from your woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this might cater a little bit more to like marriage, right? Because if you're just dating, like if you're getting to know each other, that can easily change, right? It's like you're dating. Hey, I'm talking to this chick. She's really great. But then you're out on the streets one day or just grocery shopping, and there's this girl you meet, and y'all hit it off. Well, now I like this girl. It could very easily change. But when you're married, it's different. It's like, okay, I want to be loyal to my wife, right? So it's kind of like this golden rule. Don't expect things from other people that you're not willing to do yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if you expect loyalty from your woman, as a man, what should you do?
Yeah.
You should also be loyal.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I get, so that word, I get it. It sounds very aggressive. It sounds very strong.
If he would have worded that differently, it's just saying she should be submissive is like, I picture like on her knees constantly and cowering down, which you don't have to. I mean, it's okay to be strong. Just, that what he was saying makes sense though. It's, you go to work and you deal with a lot of idiots and you deal with the world, and you don't want to come home to someone constantly like talking in your ear and nagging you. And it's like, well, you got to do this. You got to do this. It's like, let me decompress from the day first. Let me get situated. Then I'll handle what you're asking me to handle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but when she immediately starts messing with your peace, and it's like, that's where it's kind of like, okay, is this really worth it? No matter how good looking you are, no matter what you can do in bed, if you're not at peace, then what's the point of being in a relationship?
100%.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, when he kept saying submissive, is like, I picture that as like, you got her on a chain and it's just, no, you're going to do what I say constantly, which I'm sure that's not what he meant.
Well, that's not what the word means at all.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I know that's not what it means.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the word does sound strong because of the idea that you put behind it. But if you look at the word, then what does it really mean? It's not bad. Mm-hmm. It means that it's somebody who is true to you. That's it. That's all it is. Somebody,
so loyalty.
Loyalty.
He could have just said loyalty. Because from someone like that saying, someone like him telling them, well, they just gotta be submissive. You gotta understand, submissive is a big thing in like the worst way, like in porn and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like to be very submissive to somebody,
right? Because you're looking at it with that connotation,
and then a lot of people do. And
but that's not, because some people or a lot of people look at it with that connotation doesn't mean that is what that word is, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we have to view it for what it really is. And submissive, though it sounds strong, is actually not a bad thing. It's good, right?
Yeah.
Because if your woman were to cheat on you, right, would you feel great about that?
Oh, no.
Because she wasn't what though?
Loyal.
She wasn't submissive.
Okay. I mean, that still sounds like a. It's still. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. It is a strong word. It's a very It's a very strong.
Oh, I get it. Just like to me, that word, like if I were to look at it the way you're looking at it, like submissive, is the same thing to me as the word hate. To me, hate is a very strong word.
Oh yeah.
And I don't use it whatsoever lightly. Like when people say, "Oh, I hate you," like they're telling a person that they hate them.
Yeah.
Like that's strong to tell a person that you hate them. I've never in my life would say have hated a person. I've hated their actions, but I've never hated a person because at the end, that person is just like me, imperfect and can make mistakes. And I wouldn't want anybody to think that I'm this terrible being because I made that mistake. No, I just made a bad call. But I, on the interior, try to be the best person that I could ever be.
Yeah.
It's the way I view it. So,
yeah. Well, what about you, Alec? What do you think about
what you got on this one, bud? I think he wanted to say something there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, damn.
I was saying that, well, for one, I think the word requires a lot of context. And, like you need to have context when you're using that word. But also, the kind of argument y'all are having, it's like kind of like the classic best buddy argument. Me and some of my closest friends, we have these arguments all the time where one person meant it from like the Urban Dictionary and the other person meant it from the dictionary. And for you, Ruben's using the Urban Dictionary. You're using the official dictionary. Yeah. So, I mean, and there's arguments for both sides because on one side, it's like, you're going to say, well, this is the correct definition of the word, so I will use it, correctly. But from Ruben's point of view, it's like, well, I'm using it from the way most of the people on the earth would see it.
See?
Like, like win by popularity.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say either of them is incorrect or correct, but it is important whenever, like, people like the man in that video are providing words like that, they give it a lot of context to kind of rule out what submissive they're talking about. Whether they're talking about the Urban Dictionary or just the straight up factual dictionary.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah,
I see where you're going.
That makes a whole lot of sense. You see, I knew that there was a reason why he was part of this family. That was great. I liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it. That was very great insight on that.
So I'll set it on the table and say, when I go with the correct definition, it's not a bad definition. It's something good because, and this comes back to, the word love as well. Love is many of things. Nothing of it is negative, though.
No.
Nothing of it. And so with that, submissive is also not bad. Like if you were to think of, if you're a person, a believer in God, and God says, I want you to be submissive to me, would you view that as something bad if you're a God believer? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, probably, because that just sounds very.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Sal. I'm 100% like, that's kind of weird, bro. But
it's not bad. It's not bad.
But that just goes back to what Alex saying, how we both view the word, though.
Ruben,
what?
Can you be submissive for me?
Oh my goodness, no! Now it's happening. Now it's
By the way, he's got the leathered suit and the chains out in his car.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. You're on your own on that one, Alec.
You're damn.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. We leave it at agree to disagree kind of deal, where it's like I don't view it as a bad word. Depending on what you're talking about.
I mean, I get the word's not a bad word. I do. I understand that. It's how it's presented. You know what I mean? It's like if this guy would have said loyalty rather than submissive, I would agree with him 100%. But because he uses submissive, it's a very strong.
Just for you, it sounds a little bit too like aggressive.
Too like, no, you need to bow to me no matter what.
I get you.
But you understand that, which I do get it now. I understand that, but it's like I see it as like, no, you are going to be on my hip constantly.
Oh, kind of like you're mine.
Yeah, like you are mine. Like you will do nothing other than what I tell you. And to you, you're like, well, he just mean loyal. There's a word for loyalty. So my argument would be, well, why can't he just say loyalty? You know what I mean?
Well, it's just like any other words, right? Like there's other words you can use for a word. And I guess because that's how my brain registers it. Like I'm like submissive, loyalty. That's how that's just how I register.
Yeah.
But maybe for you, because you're wired differently, it just sounds too strong. And you prefer, okay, how about you just say loyalty?
Yeah.
I get it.
See? Agree to disagree.
It works out wonderfully.
What
I
do you
love
think,
it
Alec?
when people sit
Do you
down
agree
and
to
talk,
disagree?
you know what I mean?
Oh, let's look at the screen.
Okay, let me see. Oh, look.
Can you read that for me?
It says submissive means, now is this the actual...
This is Google so far, but we can look at the
see.
dictionary under here. Here, look.
Ready to conform to the authority
or
or
will of others, meekly obedient or passive. So that right there, right? So this is where I'm gonna kind of river off again. If you're a believer, right? There's a scripture that says, "The meek will inherit the earth." So to be meek, you have to be what?
Submissive.
Yeah, I was going to say the definition actually kind of seems to fit what both of y'all are saying. Because it says there's a lot of ors in there, right? Meekly, obedient, or just passively.
Passive, yeah. It's like, who doesn't want to be a passive person? Who doesn't want to feel just relaxed? Just, you're okay, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I get, like I said, I get where you're coming from. But I also do believe, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I just feel like, I feel like it's been throughout the time that, you know, the popularity of people just make it seem like it's a bad word. And it's not bad.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah. And then that's a lot of words. Yeah.
It's not a bad word, but it has a very strong meaning.
100%.
To how you, it's a very strong word in the sense of how you use it. Like this guy.
Yeah, like I said, context.
Yeah.
It's super important.
Yeah. And you will have your women that are good with that word too.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just depends how you're wired, right? Like she'll say, "Oh, I want to be submissive to my husband," and a husband hearing that's on the same page or on the same mental note will be like, "Wow, this is great. This is a great woman for me."
Yeah.
Right. But I'll say this much: it's not meant to be a bad word.
Yeah.
It's actually a good word. But again, just depends where you're coming from.
Alec,
What's up?
Are you submissive to anybody?
Just you.
Nice. I like that. Nice.
Oh, now it works out for you.
Yeah. Now it works out.
He just wants to be the dominant one.
That's true. Thank you, Alec.
Goodness, taking a little bit on the other side there. Tell me why it was I was focused on those chicks' classes. I don't know why. Anyways, next video. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on.
Who's this guy?
This guy looks like the British version of Donald Trump.
Let's see.
What about the people that sleep 5 hours, they wake up and they feel great? Is that bullshit?
The number of people who can survive on 6 hours of sleep or less without showing any impairment, rounded to a whole number and expressed as a percent of the population, is 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 0. Now, what about the people that sleep?
My buddy Joe
I didn't
Rogan.
even know he was British. I just made that joke.
That's our end goal right there, everybody. It's Joe Rogan.
I think I have. Is there one more video left? I think after that.
Oh, there's an Instagram left. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the before. So the reason why this was kind of one of the ones that I
don't know what
chose
this means.
is because
You don't sleep at all.
there are people that'll say, "Oh, all I need is 4 hours."
No.
And I'm good.
Not at all.
That's fucking wrong.
I've tried it and I was miserable the next day.
Exactly. So that's why he's saying the people that are like, oh, you know, so Joe is essentially saying what he's asking is like, is it true that you can sleep 4 hours or under 6 hours and you're good?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, not at all.
It's not possible.
No.
And I can attest to that for sure because I always sleep like less than 6 hours. Like, if I get 4 or 5 hours in, like, that's great for me. But if you were to ask me, Sal, so you function great throughout the day? Nope.
No.
Remember whenever I told y'all at the beginning before the podcast started that I was feeling great today?
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed at like 11. Normally I go to bed at like 2 or so. So I got more sleep than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Well, what time did you wake up?
9.
So
But, like,
from 11
maybe-
to 9?
Yeah.
Lazy.
No, that's a no. How much? How much is that?
That's actually a lot of sleep. Now.
Yeah, that's like 10 hours worth of sleep.
Yeah, straight
something
up.
like that.
Yeah.
Great sleep.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
took me
nice.
like an hour to go. You
There
know,
you
like
go.
an hour to fall asleep. But
And it makes you, but you felt great, right? When
yeah,
you woke
felt
up.
great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what that feels like
Why?
because I hardly sleep.
Well, you
I
should
woke up
fix
at
that.
8 and like got to go back to bed.
You should fix that, Sal.
Well, so the way that
Smoke you a doobie.
so I'll say this much. So with this video, what it shows is the fact that people are like, "Oh, I sleep, 6 hours or under, and I'm great," is a bullshit lie. Because you're suffering in some kind of way, right? Whether it be your motor skills or like just your mental state, like how do you think, how do you process things, but in some way or form you're suffering, maybe even physically, like fucking bags in your eyes.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
holy.
Definitely physically. If you go to the gym, and because the thing, like the time when your muscles heal and actually build is not when you're lifting weights.
It's when you're sleeping.
Yeah, because when you're lifting weights, you're tearing them.
You're tearing them. Yep.
You're tearing them up, and then when you go to bed, they rebuild. So if you only give them like 3 hours to rebuild, you're gonna actually hurt yourself just going to the gym.
You guys got to listen to Alec.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he bench presses like 300, 100%.
Exactly. I've been trying to bench press Ruben.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
wow.
You need a lot of work, buddy.
From the cheeks, or
That's why he's the submissive one.
No, but seriously, when it comes to sleep, and the reason why I put this on, I sent it to Alec in the title of The Importance of Sleep, because it actually is very important. Like most of the people that you'll meet that are very calm and relaxed is like they've gotten their sleep and they're
Alec?
usually easygoing.
Like if you ever meet Alec, like if he's ever wants to be on here, he is the most calm guy ever.
Yeah, Alec is like
the
really
most
calm.
soft-spoken, chill dude.
There's no
ever.
way you don't sleep 10 hours a night every night. Like that's not even possible. to me.
Yeah, y'all don't know me very well. Then.
Oh, that's what it is.
I've had I have had very little sleep, and I have been very loud before.
Yeah, believe that.
In bed.
It just depends on. Oh, definitely. No, but it depends. I mean, that depends on if I'm with Ruben or not.
Yeah, there you go.
But,
Okay, this is true. Would y'all
started
like
it.
for me to exit?
He started it. I didn't start
after Ruben, I'm definitely getting 10 hours. That's all.
He's a screamer.
It just made it worse. Anyways,
you should know me better. You should know me by now, so I'll take a joke as far as I can take it.
As far as you can what?
Whoa! You see, zinger. That was on my fault. That was my bad. That was bad wording on my part.
But honestly, because I can attest to this, I don't really get too much sleep. You know this. I think I mentioned this to Alec. Like my sleep is so off. Like I wake up every hour of the hour within sleep, and sometimes I'm sleeping knowing that I'm trying to sleep. It's the weirdest feeling.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on anybody. 100%.
No.
I think at a certain point when Alex and Chris were on here, and I mentioned how I can probably count a handful of times where I mentioned it as astral projection, where like I'm hovering above myself,
yeah.
and like I'm noticing that I'm sleeping, like I'm looking at me sleeping. I don't wish that on anybody because it may sound cool. It might be like, what? You're like in a different realm.
You're like Doctor
Dude,
Strange, bro.
It's not great.
not fun.
I want to sleep.
Oh yeah.
I will probably say this much. Until recently, I actually do remember some of my dreams, but it had been a while since I would sleep and remember what I dreamt. You always dream.
Yeah.
You always dream.
They
But
say it's common to forget your dream, like 80% of your dream, like the first 5 minutes of waking up.
all right.
Man, I've noticed too, when I wake up, I'm starting to remember a lot more of my dreams now. And it's because in the mornings, if I'm going to work, like I'll just start replaying little bits and pieces of the dream, going, "What the hell does that mean?" You know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll get on my phone and I'll just like, if I remember a key point of the dream, I'll type it in and Google or something to see like what could it possibly mean. But then I take that stuff with a grain of salt too, because it's like, I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't really, and that's fine. I don't buy into dreams. I think it's just something that's deep within my thoughts or something that I've lived or something, whatever. And then some other people would disagree and say, oh, well, I can tell the future, and that's great. The only dream that I can tell you that probably happened some years back, literally, right? Some years back, I was about to get it on with this very attractive blonde chick, green eyes. And it was about to go down. I mean, we were like making out and it was great. And then I woke up as soon as I was about to get it on. And then I tried to go back to sleep and get it on. I could not remember. But
every guy who heard that just related to you.
Oh, she was gorgeous, blonde, green eyes.
In your dream?
Very well figured, yes.
Succubus.
What?
She's a succubus.
A succubus?
Yeah. Alec knows what that means.
That sounds familiar. I've heard the word, but I don't know what it actually means.
Oh, succubus. Oh, because you suck the best. Suck you best. Okay.
Oh.
It's
That's hilarious.
And it's like an urban legend where like it's like a dream demon kind of where they suck the life out of you and drain you of your life force. It's an actual thing.
Well, that makes sense too. Why I feel like I've died recently.
Also, can you move your mic up a bit again?
God damn it, Sal.
What is going on here? Jesus Christ. Am I good now?
That's why
you're good now.
That's why I keep my mic right here. Right to the
Ruben's got some of the best mic control I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even
right to the
just
face.
messing with him right now.
Luckily, I'm submissive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could have been like, fuck you talking about, motherfucker.
Whoa. Yeah.
But because I'm submissive.
Yeah.
Put the mic up.
Which one?
What mic? Which mic?
No, which submissive are you?
The succubus one.
There you go. He gets it. He gets it. Anyway, what were you saying about this mic work that you're so impressed about?
I was just saying, out of every single person I have in here, you are the best at like staying close to the mic, speaking into it, everything.
He's used to it.
Whoa. Whoa, Sal. Whoa. You're putting rumors out there, buddy.
That's a rumor, guys.
False rumors.
That is a rumor.
False rumors there, buddy.
But guys, really, honestly, sleep is very important.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And if I was ever told, hey, you got to look at that, that's not normal. And I've been told so many times by so many people, it's not normal for you to be getting that little sleep at your age. Like, and it's even weird that it's looked at normal throughout, like, the older age, like, 70 and all that. But it's like, anything that I've been told that'll help me with sleep involves something exterior.
A doobie.
And I hate the idea.
Smoke you a doobie.
Sure.
Do they drug test you?
Yes.
No, don't do that. Don't do that then.
Yeah. So
I don't want you to get fired.
So so that's why it's one of those things where like forget the doobie thing. That's
okay.
That's great. I've done it before.
Okay,
it's
I
the
got
best
you.
thing.
Go ahead. Move on. It's literally the best. Okay.
Literally the best.
Go ahead, Sal.
I do not recommend the white girl.
No, don't do that.
That'll keep you up.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like freaking the fuck out because you're like, I've
You're
been
trying to
awake for literally 24 plus hours.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. What you're gonna say, Sal? Go ahead.
But anyways,
we're off track here.
I'll say this much: I hate the idea of getting my normal sleep through an exterior source. It just seems wrong to me. Like, to me, I think if I'm not able to sleep because my head or my brain is, functioning certain things, then that's what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get through it.
Yeah.
If I'm using any exterior source to try to put me to sleep, it just feels very wrong. Very wrong.
Okay. So you just want to go to sleep naturally on your own, without like having the help of what's that stuff called?
Because at the point where I'm trying to get good
melatonin,
sleep, melatonin, and I've done that too. Like
I've heard you had crazy dreams on melatonin.
Don't get me wrong, I've done melatonin.
It's not a drug, everybody.
But it's
technically a drug,
okay,
but not like a hard drug.
It takes so much. Like there was this point where a friend of mine was telling me, hey, take these gummies of melatonin. They're like melatonin concentrated. And she's like, all you need is 2. That's the recommendation. I took 2.
But you took 2 more.
Nothing. And then she said, how'd it go? Nothing has happened. Okay, man, like your sleep is like really crazy then. So take 1 more maybe. And I got happy and I said, let me try 4.
Damn.
So I took 4. It still did not do anything to me.
There's something wrong with you.
So there is something definitely wrong with me.
Your wires are crossed somewhere, buddy.
They're crossed all over the place. But I'll say this much, like we're talking about, that sleep is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I can attest to that because, you know, I rarely sleep. But when you, like, throughout the day, do I function properly? Yeah, I guess. Do I function at the best of my ability? Nope. I don't even know what that is anymore. Don't even know what that is anymore.
No. Yeah, because when you're texting me stuff about the podcast at midnight, I'm like, I'll get to him tomorrow. I'm not talking to this
And that
guy.
will happen. What's so funny is, like, I know he's asleep. Like, I'm like, this guy's asleep, but you know what? I have to fucking say this right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll send it out, and I'm like, and then the me that's not being able to sleep, right? Like, I'm like, I'll hear from him tomorrow.
It's true. Y'all guys have no idea how many times he's done that to me. And he always does it right as I'm going to go to sleep, like right as I literally fell asleep, and then my phone will go off, and I'll look. I said, "What the hell?"
He already knows, I think, who it is. Because if it's not Alec, it's me.
And I'm like, I was like, and sometimes I'll humor him, and like if it's something that he needs to know, like I'll answer. But then if it's something like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I'll call you tomorrow, bro.
He's just sending you that 2 a.m. what you doing text.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't done that yet.
Wait, has that not happened yet?
No.
Okay.
And don't let it do it.
It's pending.
It's pending. Okay, now he's gonna do it today.
No. Let's go to the very last one. Let's see what we got.
What we got here? Hey, who's that? I don't know who that is. Oh, no sound.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
It's on the.
I got it this time.
You got to hit the ding. There you go.
New job on
Now you got to start it over.
and it's a teaching job.
No, it's good.
So
Okay.
the kids are going to call me either Mr. or Mrs. Jamie. It depends on what I want, but I, as an
Oh,
non-binary
my
being,
goodness.
I don't know what to pick. I feel like Mrs. would be easier for the kids, but Mr. makes me feel better. But I also kind of want to try mix, but I don't know if the kids can do that. I don't.
What?
And then what do they do when they ask me if I'm a boy or a girl?
Oh my God.
I'm not. I don't know.
You are an idiot.
It's
That's what
young
you
kids.
are.
My class is gonna be 4-year-olds.
She claims she's not a boy or girl. She's teaching.
Holy. Oh, here.
I'm gonna waste this one out.
I am starting a new job.
Oh my God. You know, this person goes back to the first video of what she was saying, right? Well, for one, you're teaching 4-year-olds. They're not gonna comprehend, because 4-year-olds are brutal, man. They'll tell the truth. They'll tell you straight up, you're not a dude. You're a girl. And it's like, what are you gonna do then? Send them to the principal's office? It's like her is what's wrong with the country now. Her is a perfect example of that, because it goes back to the first video. You're a girl or you're a man. You're not both. And it's like, clearly you are a woman, a feminine woman, and being called a man makes you feel better. Why would you want to be a man for? Nobody wants to be a man. Why would you want to do that?
Being a man sucks, dude.
We get blamed for so much stuff. Why would you want to put yourself through that? And to do that, to put 4-year-olds through that, what do you call them? Like, what do I want them to call me? Come on, get out of here with that nonsense. Don't sit there and say that, and you're going to be teaching 4-year-olds. And it's like, come on now, don't do that. You're a woman. You're going to be called Mrs., and that's it. And that should be on the principal, or whoever her boss is going to be. No, you're Mrs., whatever your name is. You're not nothing else other than that, and that's it.
So I say this much: you're wrong, dude. Like, she is. No, I'm just. I couldn't even keep a straight face. No, I 100% agree with you, and the fact that this is something that we can agree on says that the larger percent of people do agree with us on these things. There is a problem, especially in the educational field, if you're going in to teach toddlers, 4-year-olds that really don't know much about life, and you're coming in with the same mentality like you don't know what the fuck you are. I think there's a problem there.
Yeah.
Because now the generation that you're supposed to be upbuilding to be the future of the country, and not just the future of the country, but the future of the world, and you don't know how to get your shit together on if you're a boy or you're a girl, what do you expect from that generation? What do you expect for them to pick up on from you moving forward? That's why we're fucked right now, dude.
Yeah, because you get idiots like that say, well, I was born a woman, but I'm a man. No, you're not. Don't do that. You're an idiot is what you are.
Biology cannot be argued. When you look down there, is there a fucking pipe sticking out of you?
Yeah.
Yes. So then you're a dude. Do you have a hole? Oh, there's a hole there. Then you're female. It's not that fucking complex.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's made complex is because of political agenda. Firstly, because of people's mental state, which is, it kind of brings me back to the sleep thing. Get some good sleep. Get some good sleep and really realize what you are and who you are. And if you're waking up after 10 hours of sleep every day and you're 21 years old and every day you've slept for fucking 10 hours and you don't know what you are, I think you need to check yourself into a psychiatric home and evaluate yourself just ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly.
Because that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's sad because, you know, like you brought up, oh, you know, if this is who we're dealing with coming into this job, then that's on the principal. Well, what if the principal's the same fucking way?
Yeah.
And he or she is like, well, you know, I don't know if I'm a man or a woman. Well, we just got fucked in every hole.
Every hole. All of it. All the holes.
But the educational system has become such a big...
Well, it's easy for them to act like that in the schools and educational system because it's easy for them to rewire all the kids, especially as young as 4-year-olds. Because then all those 4-year-olds are going to grow up and say, well, it's okay. My teacher's doing it and my teacher's this and she says this. And no, it's not okay.
And that is why it's very important that when it comes to kids, that the teaching in reality first starts at home.
Yeah.
With the parents. Because then as soon as this kid gets home and it's like, well, my first day of school was great, Dad. But my teacher doesn't know if she's a boy or a girl. Oh, boy, you're going to address that real quick. What does she look like? Or what does your teacher look like? Well, she looks like a girl. Then that's probably what she is.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm almost certain that's what.
Probably. Because, bro, like it's crazy to think that you hear these things from like these type of people where they're like, oh, how are you going to classify me by what I look like? What do you mean? Like if I look at Ruben right now, I'm not like, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I can clearly tell.
Don't matter for me.
Whoa. Alec, you're a wild one today.
Y'all gonna have to settle this after the podcast, please.
It's because I had too much sleep.
There it is. he's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. He's off the rockers.
But what I'm saying is, I'm looking at Ruben. I don't see a girl. I see a dude.
Yeah.
It's that clear.
The beard and mustache were dead giveaway.
Like, yeah, exactly. But even if I was to look at a chick, because I know this chick from work that she came in, blonde, long hair. And then afterwards, she was like, she wasn't digging the long hair. And she, not that she's, you know, of that realm. She just wanted a different hair look. And she cut it very short, like guy short.
Like Alex short?
No, his is still longer.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's growing. She's letting it grow back now.
I got you.
But it was probably around like my short, maybe, kind of.
My hair is not even like short for a woman. My hair is like probably just normal at this point.
Yeah. So, but I was like, I don't like the new hairdo, whatever. But I could still, even if I didn't know her, I could still tell she's a chick.
Oh, yeah.
She had the features that whatever kind of optical view, it's like, okay, that's a chick.
I want people to comment on that video too.
I really hope they do.
I really hope they do too. They don't ever do. Alec, you know your homework. Comment on all the videos with a bunch of random.
Oh, I'm ready.
He's got them ready to
Just
go.
especially because it's like very big right now.
Yeah, because I mean, we truly want to see what y'all think about it. What y'all's views on all the videos that we've seen. The submissive one, Alec, and
You don't see Alec cracking up
don't
over
see him.
there, but
He don't have a camera on him anymore, which we're kind of bummed out about.
You know, I can get one set up next time.
Okay, I got you. We got you, man.
Ruben says he needs to see you at some point during the podcast. Needs to see that beautiful face.
Whoa, Sal, how are you okay, Sal?
No, I'm just going off of. No, I'm just whatever it is that you know.
Do you want in on the joke? Can you handle the joke?
Are you gaslighting him?
I don't even know what to say anymore. Just gonna stay quiet over here.
Okay, there you go.
But no, seriously, guys, we really would like you guys to comment on all the videos that we've presented. Especially, I mean, this one was really one of the ones that was like a heavy hitter for me, just because it's like
you're involving kids.
You're involving kids,
and that's
like this is the one thing I'll say for the generation after you to do better is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I look at my nephew now. He turned 18 on February the 17th.
Oh, yeah, party.
No,
Okay. Continue.
He wanted a party, and I had already done too much partying. So he's like, yeah, dude, I left you alone. But,
we'll get to him when he's 21.
When he's 21.
Everybody, even Alex coming out.
Bank on it. Everybody needs to come out when my nephew turns 21.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because
Am I invited?
and he's 100%. 100% you're
Okay.
invited.
Dick.
Because he's like one of the coolest dudes ever. And that's,
Don't hit on him, Alec.
that's bro.
Whoa.
No. I'm going to say this much. If you hit on him, I don't need to take care of him. He will knock you the fuck out.
Oh, there you go. Maybe-
But then
I'm
I will
reserved for
come
Ruben.
afterwards.
Hey, don't you remember what submissive means?
There's two meanings.
I'm
Alec.
submissive for Ruben.
He's submissive.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what.
I can't talk to anyone else.
Well, now we're off for workers again.
No, but my nephew is a really great guy. Probably, because I taught him a lot of stuff. Pause on that, please. Pause on that.
Say Ruben's Tommy.
Guy's on fire. He's on fire when he's rested.
No, but like when I look at him now and how great he's doing as a person,
Yeah.
I don't feel any kind of jealousy in my bones whatsoever. I'm actually very 100% happy because he's next, right? He's next to have somebody.
Just don't let him near Alec.
I won't. But he's next to have somebody, and he's going to teach that onto them, and they're going to be greater. That is also part of progress.
But that's what teachers and the education system should do to these kids, but they don't.
Keyword should.
Should.
But
Yeah, 100%. Like this idiot that was on screen. You can't even decide on what you want them to call you, bro. Come on now.
But the sad part about that is,
are you even a good teacher? She's probably bad at teaching.
well, the sad part about it is they're concerned more with the money than they are with actually teaching. Like me, with my nephew, I don't get paid for shit for teaching him certain things, right?
Yeah.
But where I get paid at is when the outcome that I see. Like my nephew is a very hardworking dude. This guy is all about work.
Yeah.
Not saying he doesn't like to have fun, because the guy likes to have fun when he wants to have fun. That is one thing about him that I will say is true. When he's ready to have fun, he's like, bro, I'm going to go out. And I'm going to go, with my friends, or I'm going to go with my girl, whatever. But he's talked to, like, the kids within his class, and they're like, hey, we're going to go to this party, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, like, when? Oh, it's on Friday. Oh, I work. Okay, well, take off. Don't work. He's like, no, I'm going to go to work.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why is it you're all about work? He's like, dude,
but
partying right now and all that sounds great. It really does. But have you ever thought about your future? Like, what's going to be of like what you're going to, like, what are you building for? And so the guy has got a goal. And he's like, I'm gonna have this and want to have that by this time frame. And till now, he's actually really stuck to it, bro. And he's doing really great. And I should not be mad at that.
No, not at all.
When or jealous about it when I'm the one that told him, hey, learn from my mistakes. I should have done this or that and the third, but I wasn't because I was having fun or I was, whatever, dicking around.
No.
And it makes me happy because he took that. He said, okay, I hear you. So this is what I'm going to do. He's getting out of high school with 2 years college. So it was like bachelor. Was that bachelor or whatever the fuck that
Bachelor's
is?
is 4 years.
No, it's
Associates.
Associates. So he's getting out of high school with his associates. And he's already making good money where he's at. And he's building for his future.
But that's being a responsible, educated young man, though. It's like that's very rare nowadays, and it shows a lot in him. It shows a lot of promise, and that he's about his stuff, and you know what I mean. So that's good. That's good on him, man.
Oh no, yeah. Shout outs to call him K-Dub.
K-Dub.
Shout outs to K-Dub.
Wait until you're 21, buddy.
21. Oh yeah. If you're married, you're cheating that night.
Alex gonna record it all too, professionally.
Oh, so now I'm the recorder.
Yeah, you're the POV guy.
POV.
Oh.
Or POD.
Okay, that's an awkward silence. I don't think
we're not vibing on that one.
No,
Okay,
we're not.
anyways,
That was a bad one.
Yeah, let me and Ruben stick to it, buddy. You can observe us.
Whoa.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
This guy's got too much rest going on here.
But anyways, guys, I think that's probably a wrap for us, right, Alec?
Yep.
And but it was a great sit down. Fucking enjoyed it. I'm really happy that we were here today.
Oh yeah.
But please, guys, do comment. Comment on the videos. Comment on your perspective, your ideas on whatever it is that we presented today. And we will apologize in advance for getting a little bit too out there with it. But that's what we do here at All Things Relevant. So.
It was mainly Alec because he had too much damn rest.
Yeah. Next time, don't sleep as much, buddy.
Don't get as much rest, Alec. What's wrong with you?
I'll put in an hour.
Next time, get like 3 hours worth of sleep, and
just take a nap. You'll be okay.
But anyways, any last words?
Thank you, everybody. Like, subscribe to our channel, and we got some future things coming up, hopefully soon. So, yeah, thank you for everything, for all y'all support and love. So
awesome. We'll see you guys on the next sit down.